Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make a turkey curry. Before we do anything, let's wash our hands. Some of the ingredients that we need. Well, in this recipe we're going to use some onions and mushrooms. Leave any of them out if you don't like them. So let's dice the mushrooms, and now we're just going to peel and cube the onions. Listen, this recipe was used from turkey left over from the Christmas. You can do the same thing with a chicken curry, exactly the same, follow the process of what I'm doing. So after dicing these, put them in the pan. In this case I'm using a wok, and then we'll add some hot water and we're going to simmer these away. Just basically we're going to soften the onions and cook them up. Now we've got some MSG. You can get this from the Chinese supermarket. This enhances, it's like a salt, it enhances the flavour. And then we take a couple of dashes of dark soy sauce. We add that to the pan. So as you can see, there's some of the turkey. In your case you might like chicken, and some of the best meat is actually on the legs. Or if you go and buy thighs, you'll find that is the brown meat makes a better curry mix. Anyway, so after dicing that, let's throw it to the pan. And in the pan, don't forget, we've got the onions and the mushrooms that we've softened. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more hot water to that. And slowly, just let this simmer away. Stir it in. All right, now we've not added any curry powder or anything just yet. So just let that simmer away and soften up. Just give it a squirt of tomato sauce. I find that adding the tomato sauce just adds a little bit of a sweetness to it. So now, if you're making this curry for a lot of people, what I would do is go to the supermarket and buy the cheapest curry sauce that we do, Chinese curry sauce. And this stops it from being too powdery, because we're using a Maysan curry powder and we're also using Makeway curry powder. So add that to the pan. Give it a stir in, and again let that simmer away. Now we can mix some cornflour up and stuff. We're going to show you how to do that. Now keep stirring. Make sure your chicken's already cooked, but make sure it's heated all the way through. Don't think, well, you know, I'm going to start out. I wouldn't start having a taste of this, not just yet, not while the chicken's cold. Anyway, so let that cook away for a bit. Keeping the jar from the sauce, we add some Makeway curry powder. Now this has to use cold water to add it to mix, to make it stir properly. Don't use hot water, as it will make it lumpy. Now there's our cornflour that I was talking about. This is going to help to thicken it up. So if we've put too much water, whatever, in the wok, this will help to thicken up. So put on our lid, fill some water in there, put on our lid and give it a good shake. So that's another good reason not to throw this jar away. Saves on the washing up, mixing in another bowl. Right, there's our Maysan curry powder. Now this is the paste. You can use hot water when mixing this. Just add it slowly, the hot water, and constantly stirring it, trying to get into a smooth, nice paste. Now in my case, I'm making this for 6 people. I was making this curry for, so hence the amount that I put in. So you can see what I'm doing now. Slowly pouring the hot water in. Keep working that in till it's nice and smooth. Make sure there's no lumps. Keep doing it. And when we've got finished that and finally got that to a nice paste, we're going to add that to our wok. So as we've seen earlier, I said to you, let that simmer away, and that's cooked nicely now. All the onions, all the mushrooms, everything is all cooked, and the chicken will be nice and hot all the way through. My daughter just had to step in and take over. She wanted to be in the video. So let's add our curry paste that we've just mixed. So add in that, and then we're going to make sure that we stir that thoroughly all the way in. And don't forget that's got our corn flour in as well, so that's going to help thicken it up. So we're going to really enjoy this for our dinner. Now suppose you don't have to use chicken. I suppose you could use I don't know, maybe ham or whatever. So the corn flour and stuff that I mixed in the jar just to help to thicken it up. And in the meantime, while that's just simmering away, let's get our rice on the boil. Make sure you wash your rice thoroughly, get rid of that dust. I always wash it at least 3 or 4 times, and you can see the colour of the water, that milkiness on the water. That's no good. You don't want to be eating that. So keep washing until that water runs clear, and then once that's done, that's ready to top up and start cooking. And in the meantime, while that rice is cooking, you can see I'm covering it. Just turn the heat off and just let that sit there, and that'll stay warm by the time the rice is done. So there's our rice getting cooked. And the final thing we're going to say is our final product, which is the turkey curry. Listen, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.